Hello buddy, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's special video on this beautiful Sunday here in Toronto, wherever you are, hopefully you're getting as much as sun as we are here in Toronto. Gorgeous weather, summer is here, very excited guys. So Intellia published this morning bunch of press releases on X.com, on different platforms, and of course on their official press release website. They just released a 3-year data from phase 1 for HAE program. That is of course Intellia 2002, Lonvo-z, call it whatever you want guys. This is one of their leading programs, if not the leading program for Intellia Therapeutics. We talked about this program in our interview a couple of weekends ago with Gene Investing with Anthony. We talked about it twice in 2 separate videos. In fact, the weekend prior, I think it was last weekend, I don't remember guys. Time goes really fast guys. I lose track of time, especially with all the traveling and so on. As you can tell, obviously I'm not traveling right now. I'm back in my office, back in Toronto, so kind of losing track of time. But I do remember we talked about it with Gene Investing, a whole video, basically 40-45 minutes, going deep into HAE programs. We talked about some of these milestones for this year and potentially next year. And one of the things we talked about was the set of data we were about to get by end of first half of this year, and Intellia delivered. That was for their phase 1 trial. And let's take right into it. Let's go right into it. Let's jump right into it and take a look at it and talk about it briefly here. So Intellia announces positive 3-year data from phase 1 trial of Lonvo-z patients with HAE. With a follow-up of 3 years, a single dose of Lonvo-z led to a 98% mean reduction in monthly HAE attack in all 10 patients. All 10 patients were attack-free and treatment-free for a median of 23 months through the latest follow-up, demonstrating the potential of Lonvo-z to become the first one-time therapy for most HAE patients. Lonvo-z was well-tolerated and continues to demonstrate a favorable safety profile. The global phase 3, we talked about this in our interview. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Gene Investing's interview there a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last weekend. Of Lonvo-z concluded screening ahead of schedule with more than half screened from US sites, and Intellia to provide an update on the enrollment in the future. Okay. Do we have maybe a quote from the leader of Intellia? We do here. Today's results underscore, and I quote here, today's results underscore the promising potential of Intellia approach to gene editing therapy, a one-time treatment that was well tolerated and offered a highly differentiated, durable effect for patients suffering from a serious disease. Seeing all 10 patients in phase 1 portion of this study free from both HAE attacks and chronic therapy for nearly 2 years of median follow-up is incredibly encouraging. These data fuel our optimism for outcomes for our ongoing phase 3 study, which we expect to report in the first half of 2026, and the highlight of strong value we believe we will offer to patients, physicians, and payers. End of quote. And just a reminder, guys, the sample size, 25 milligrams was the 3 sample size. You had 50 with 4 and 75 with 3, so that's a total of 10 sample size. And for phase 3, they're going with 50, the middle sample size here. But what an amazing data, guys! What an amazing data. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. So a couple of things, guys. First of all, people have to remind themselves that this is a long-term thing, okay? And you gotta look at it in the long-term lenses. If you're getting data like this here, 98% mean reduction of HAE attack, you got attack-free and treatment-free for almost 2 years, 23 months, call it 2 years now. 2 years, the latest follow-up. You know, think about it. If you're the FDA, and again, I don't have inside information, guys. I don't have any inside information. I don't talk to anybody from this company or from the FDA or from any regulatory bodies. All I do is just on the public side of things on X.com and so on and on YouTube. But if I'm the FDA, I have to wonder, okay, well, I have this disease here. This company has a one-time functional cure potentially, and we're getting all this data, 98% mean reduction, treatment free and attack free for 23 months. And that's just for phase 1 with 10 patients where we had scattered dosage. Now for phase 3, they're going to obviously enroll a lot more patients, and they're going to settle down on one dosage size, which is of course 50 milligrams like we talked about. If I'm the FDA, I'm like, okay, well, the longer we wait, the more patients are getting affected by this, the more money is being spent on maintaining those patients, and the more pressure we're going to be getting from not just these companies, but from patients, right? From even insurance payers. Say, hey guys, what's going on here? You know, you're getting all this amazing data from Lonvo-z. You're getting all this amazing data here from follow-ups. What's going on here? What's the holdup? And we talked about it in a couple of videos ago. We talked about the FDA basically stating something along the lines that they're now going to be looking at reducing costs, reducing delays for gene therapies, which in this channel we believe, of course, in gene editing, not necessarily gene therapy. That's a word that encapsulates a lot more than just CRISPR and specific gene editing methods. But regardless, nonetheless, there's a lot to be said here. And I think this data really solidifies Intellia's position here. People have to remind me, this is the first in vivo leading program. Okay, it's the furthest along the line. It is using CRISPR. Okay, it is using quote unquote first gen of CRISPR, whatever you want to put it as. I would say gen 2 because of in vivo, but it doesn't matter. These are semantics. The point here is that you're getting amazing data. You have almost 2 years of follow-up. You have a 3-year data from phase 1, and by the time you end of you start phase 3 data by end of next year, you're gonna have end of next year. I would say in 1 year, basically, you would have 4 years of data for phase 1, and nearly 3 years. Let's call it 3 years of potential attack-free data for all these 10 patients, and then of course you're gonna be getting all that data for phase 3. Then for sure by 2027. The FDA has to look into this seriously. I mean, this is why this company and, you know, the CEO has envisioned that 2027 they may have a BLE submission and of course a commercial launch by sometime of that end of the year potentially. Worst case 2028. I mean, people have to think it through long term, guys, and don't look too much at the stock price. I mean, a lot of people are getting meddled into the stock price. They're kind of losing focus in the grand scheme of things. The grand scheme of things is the data matters. This company has delivered in the data. HAE is a serious disease. This company has figured out a way to have a potential one-time functional cure. There are alternatives out there. They're not a one-time functional cure. These are pills almost every day. These are injections every month that we take. Again, we took a look at it in our interview with Gene Investing. I would highly advise everybody here in this video to go watch that video. There's so many tidbits there. There's so many great things there. And again, the big response that we got from Leonard, the CEO and leader of Intellia Therapeutics, is they're not seeing what people are talking, a lot of naysayers are talking about, which is physicians and professionals are not going to opt in for this one-time functional cure. That's not what they're seeing with surveys. That's not what they're seeing with their discussions with, you know, people, boots on the ground, as we may say, or, you know, depends, you know, regardless how you say, people behind the desk or in regulatory agencies and so on, whatever you want to say it. These guys are getting a different sense out of it, right? That's why the confidence of this company is increasing over time. That's why a lot of investors, including myself, our conviction is increasing. I've always believed in the data. I've always believed in CRISPR. I've always believed in this one-time functional cure, and Intellia is delivering. And they're not the only one delivering. You know, CRISPR Therapeutics has delivered, and they're still delivering. You got Beam Therapeutics doing great work. You got Caribou's kind of trading sideways here, unjustifiably, but that's a whole different topic for another video. So, guys, there's a lot of things happening here, but I just wanted to cover here this specific press release. What a great news. What a great data here. Very excited to see what's going to happen with Lonvo-z. I think it's the first time I keep saying Lonvo-z. I have always called it the HAE program. So, I like that word, Lonvo-z. Rhymes well. So, guys, as always, subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. It does put our videos on people's homepage. And let me know in the comments below what do you guys think of this press release. What do you guys think about Intellia? What do you guys think about this space? Let me know. Curious to see what you guys, I have to say engagement does drive video viewership, guys. So please, please, please do it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful Sunday, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.